Happy birthday, Mila! I am so happy for you. Today's your special day. Of course, by the time that I finished this video, it won't be your birthday no longer. But nonetheless, happy birthday, and I hope that you had a wonderful day. And it's pretty awesome that the day after your birthday, you have a great movie coming out. So thank you so much for inspiring many people. Thank you so much for being yourself. You definitely inspire me with all your strength. Now let's get into this movie review. Monster Hunter 2020, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson and starring his wife, the wonderful, the beautiful, the strong Mila Jovovich. Okay, so I have never played the game, so if you have played the game and did see the movie, please let me know in the comments or send me a message if you felt that the game and the movie were very similar. Because I will say this, when Paul made Resident Evil, the first one, it was kind of similar to the game, and then as his franchise kept growing and growing, it just wasn't as close to the games, and that was very disappointing. So if you've played the game and you know for a fact that it's different and it disappointed you, I am so sorry. I can understand the frustration. I don't know if it's Paul's fault and I don't know if it's the studio's fault, but I think that moving forward, studios and directors as well need to learn from past mistakes and learn that you have to make that whatever you make has to be close to its original source, because if not, you're not gonna make anybody happy. Mila plays a character named Captain Artemis, and honestly, this isn't really a good or a bad thing because I really like what I'm gonna say. Mila's character reminded me to the T of Alice from Resident Evil. Like, it practically felt like another Resident Evil movie, honestly. Like, which it's not like a terrible thing, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I would have loved to have seen a bit of a different take on the whole female survival character that Mila Jovovich does such a great job at doing. But at the same time, it was nice to see Alice again, honestly. Like, I mean that. I was happy to see Alice again, even though I know this wasn't Alice. There's a track in this movie that reminded me so much of another track in the Resident Evil Final Chapter film. It was very familiar, very similar. I don't even know if it was the same track or not. I don't think so, but the music in general reminded me of Resident Evil Final Chapter. And also the cinematography as well was super similar to Final Chapter of Resident Evil. So this movie was definitely action-packed and it was definitely very fun, and the creatures were so much fun as well. But there was this one point in the film that felt like there was kind of a bit of a downslope of, like, on the level of boringness. Like, it felt like at one point, right shortly after the second act, like, that the movie was just like getting a little boring, or it just was gonna go nowhere. But then it did pick up, and thankfully it did, and it caught me by surprise because I really thought, like, how is this movie gonna end? Where is it going? But I only felt like that for like 2 minutes. So something happens at the beginning that I didn't see coming and I didn't like as well. I thought it was a little rushed and I wanted it to be fleshed out. Of course, I'm trying to make this as non-spoiler as possible so you guys can go out and enjoy it without knowing what's gonna happen. So I can't tell you exactly what it is that happens that I didn't like, that I felt was a little rushed, but something happens that I didn't like that was rushed. And as I mentioned, the creatures, they were fun. The CGI for them was great. Like I said, I didn't play the game, so I don't know how similar the creatures were to the game source, but this film did feel like there was a setting in the movie some way, somehow, that was placed at the highest difficulty. I can tell that the characters struggled, and it felt like hard mode. Like, it felt like if this was a video game, I'd be playing hard mode, and that was really cool. This film has a lot of humorous moments. I think that Mila did a great job at making me chuckle here and there, and hopefully you guys as well find the humor in it. So Captain Artemis, which is played by Mila, has a nickname given to her, Ranger, and then her co-star, I don't really know the character's name, but I know that she nicknamed him Hunter, so we'll just refer to Ranger and Hunter, and they both had great chemistry throughout the entire film, especially when they first meet. It was just like a brother and sister sibling moment, and not the loving kind of sibling moment, more like that fighting sibling moment, but eventually it just all fell into place. Now I just want to talk a little bit about the ending. I felt like it was a little meh. I just wanted it a little bit more fleshed out, the ending. That's it, I guess. Make sure to stay a little bit after the sub credits because there is a scene that is pretty interesting and may answer some questions, slash if you know the video game well, you might be like, oh my god, what a nod. I didn't really get the nod because I don't play the games, but I know that must have been some sort of nod. So shortly after the sub credits, stay there. But after the overall, like, complete credits, there is no scene, okay? So don't bother. As far as Mila's character's costume goes, it was cute. I mean, like, it wasn't my favorite Mila costume in a movie ever. I give it like a 6 or 7 as far as how fun and gorgeous and interesting it was, or how cool it was, or just how much I loved it goes. It was like a 7 out of 10, Mila's costume. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it, but I did like it. It was cool. And that's me talking about Mila's final costume, by the way, because she sports like 3 different looks. So her final look was the one that I'm pretty much speaking of. The other 2 were just predictable, not in a bad way, just like I knew that she would have to wear something like that because she's military. So overall, the film was a 7 out of 10 for me. I can definitely tell you, I had a blast. I had a lot of fun. And that's all that really mattered, right? As far as like, if you want me to tell you like a critique, yeah, it was everything I just mentioned. But as far as if I had fun in it goes, hell yeah, it was very, very fun. And hopefully you guys like it. You guys can let me know what you guys think if you saw it, and I'm glad I watched it in theaters. I don't think I'm gonna own this on Blu-ray, honestly. I don't know if I will watch it over again, but if there is a sequel, I would definitely go and watch that. And I just would like to end the video by saying once more, happy birthday, Mila.